Right. Okay. So thank you very much. And in my country, in Sri Lanka, now it's 15 past 6 p.m. So I thank Alexandri and staff members of Rastoma, Ursula, for inviting me for this experience sharing platform. So what I'm going to do is that I will brief you about what type of different alternative livelihoods we implemented here in Sri Lanka under my turtle conservation project. So for those who don't know where I come from, so this is Sri Lanka. It's an oceanic island just below the southern tip of India. And so basically, I started as a zoo volunteer working for our national zoo, raising animals. And okay, so now I want to discuss with you, introduce you. I hope that most of you are project managers, wildlife management managers who are running environmental organizations or maybe sea turtle conservation projects in your respective countries. And as a project manager, when it comes to livelihood development projects, it is important to understand what are the different available options for our community-based wildlife conservation projects. So to protect the species and their habitats, we do direct field conservation with community participation. And also we conduct education and outreach programs to create more awareness about the taxa or species we are working with. And then we try to enforce the law using the law enforcement authorities to reduce illegal poaching and habitat destruction. And also we try to introduce various types of alternative livelihoods to replace destructive use of natural resources. And also we can combine all these above said options. So that is also another option we do have in our conservation projects. So what I'm going to do is that I will brief you about a project that we have implemented in southern Sri Lanka. The village is called Rakava, and it's a beautiful village with mangroves, coral reefs, seagrass, and 5 species of sea turtles, beautiful beach, and a lot of biodiversity, like 160 plus species of birds. So a lot of biodiversity was there, and we went to that village to protect the sea turtles. And here you can see I went to that village back in 1993 as a young biologist or young conservationist. And so what we saw was that people were collecting turtle eggs and selling. They were killing and eating turtle meat, and they were cutting mangroves, they were mining corals, and there were a lot of environmental destructive practices were going on. So what we did was that we established Sri Lanka's first community-based in situ nest protection program to conserve our 5 species of sea turtles in Rakava village. So what we did was that we employed our former poachers, egg collectors, as turtle nest protectors there. So now think, when we went to that village, we saw people were cutting mangroves, mining corals, mining sand, mining shells, killing turtles, selling turtle egg. So why we should try to provide alternative livelihoods for those communities rather than putting them in jail, right? That's another option you can use. You can arrest them. You can use your wildlife or your navy, your police. You can arrest them and put them in jail, and you can fine them and you can teach them a lesson, But for developing countries where people are struggling with their shrinking economy, they want to survive. And the answer, for that question is represented by this image. So here you can see what you can see here is that a widow mother is trying to catch some fish using her bare hand. She doesn't have any fishing tool, no fishing nets, nothing. She's using her bare hands to catch the fish hiding in the mud. So actually her hands, because if you know about this catfish, they have thorny fins, and it can damage her hands. And she is surrounded by her kids, and simply she is poor and she's trying to find the food for her children. So can you arrest and put this mother in jail for trying to feed her family? So this is the problem we are facing. I hope that in your region, your areas, your countries, you are facing the more or less similar problems, right? So simply you can't arrest everyone and put them in jail. So that's another reason that we have to try to introduce them an alternative for destructive practices. So we got to understand all these are connected to each other and integrated. So if you want to protect sea turtles, you have to protect seagrass, marine vegetation, mangroves. Turtles need a beach to lay their eggs, and you have to protect coral reefs because it provides a feeding ground for sea turtles. And also, don't forget, you have to think about people. You have to include the people because they play a vital role in ecosystem function as well. And so understanding of this integration between communities and the habitats or surroundings they live nearby is very, very crucial to achieve your conservation goals. So, if you can reduce the poverty, it will support your conservation activities. And also, when you do conservation and management activities, those activities will support the poverty alleviation. And also, community incentives or benefits can change.
Please, Mr. Tushan, looks like you forgot the presentation.
Sorry, can't you see the presentation?
Yes, we see, since the start, we see just the first page. You can start to...
Can't you see the rolling? No? Okay, then let me share it again.
No, it is okay. We see your presentation, but when you speak, you don't move forward with presentation. We are still in the first page of presentation. I don't know if it is not the time to start to present the slide.
Can you see the slides now changing?
It's only the first slide we see.
Wait, let me arrange that. Can you?
Okay. Oh, it is okay. You are still in the first page of your presentation. But it is what we want to know.
Let's go to the second, then we see. Is the only first page is
can you see screen. It's rolling now?
Okay, it's good.
Yes.
It's good. Second now.
Okay. It is okay.
Now it's rolling, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So okay, I hope you can see now, right? Please confirm.
Yes.
Okay.
Good.
So these are the available options for you. So I simply, so this is Sri Lanka. This is a slide I wanted to show you about where I come from. And so this is my background. Actually, I started my wildlife career when I was 15 years old by joining the National Zoo. And I told you about the different options available for project managers. And so direct field conservation with community participation, creating education and awareness, law enforcement, introduce alternative livelihoods, combination of all these possible options. So I told you about the Rakova village where we started our pioneering community-based sea turtle conservation project. So as you can see here, it's with a lot of biodiversity. We have a lot of 5 species of sea turtles and mangroves, birds, coral reefs, seagrass beds, and a lot of biodiversity. I started my work in that particular Rakova village in 1993. And the problem here, you can see people were killing turtles, eating turtle eggs, they were cutting mangroves, they were mining corals, and there were a lot of destructive practices were going on at that time. And that's why we had to initiate our turtle conservation project. And so at the beginning, what we did was that we recruited all poachers, turtle egg collectors as nest protectors. So we recruited them on the beach to patrol the beach 24/7 and protect the beach from predators and also potential egg theft. So poachers were kept away, and the former poachers were recruited as turtle nest protectors. And this is what I explained. Rather than providing alternative livelihoods, why we can't put them in jail, right? So you can arrest them and you can produce them in courts, you can heavily fine them. And why we can't do it? Because as you can see here, this mom is very poor, and she has no alternatives but to catch fish to feed her family using her bare hands, right? So how you can simply arrest this woman for catching fish in a protected area? And what will happen to the kids? Actually, if you put mom in the jail, the eldest son will do this, will start doing the same thing tomorrow morning. So just because it is their responsibility to feed their family members. So that's why it is very important to provide alternative livelihoods for destructive practices. So we have to understand that all these activities are connected to each other, integrated. So you have to understand it's not only about sea turtles, but to protect sea turtles, you have to work with seagrass, mangroves, coral reef, and also with people. So people are part of the problem, and also people are part of the solution. So you have to consider and you have to understand that. And so to understand this integration, you have to understand the when we do conservation activities or when we do poverty alleviation activities, it will support our conservation activities. And when we do conservation and management activities, it will reduce community poverty. And also community incentives and benefits can change the attitudes of local people. And these positive attitudes will support the increase of community support or community participation in our conservation activities. And conservation projects with better community support has a more chance to achieve their conservation goals timely and effectively. So that's why we have to take the community participation in our projects as a tool. And why we need to explore more livelihood options rather than giving a single option, right? You can't depend on a single option. Why? Why it is not enough? Because of these reasons. If everyone is doing the same livelihood option or same business, then there will be a competition among the villagers. So they will fight, they will compete for the raw materials. They will fight for demand, for market supply, for the resources available. So then there will be a problem. And number two, it will increase the demand or market. And some people will sell their products cheaply to win the competition in the market, because everyone is selling for the same price. But some people will start selling them cheaply, so buyers will come to them so they can sell their products, and then it will actually result in collapsing the whole industry. And then optimum use of local resources as raw material. Rather than depending on a single type of raw material, you can use variety of different resources as raw materials when you are producing different products within your village. And also optimum use of the time of the local people. And some people can do their job during the daytime, and some people can do their job during the night, and even after their usual job, they can do some other income generation activities to earn more money. And also to optimum use of seasons. So there are some weather patterns, climatic changes, and whether it is day or night, and you can adjust and you can increase your income by changing your production time and selling time. So off season for tourism could be used for cultivation, home gardening, to produce some other products that you can sell for tourists during the tourism season. So you can make them during the off season. And in addition, it will reduce the overutilization of resources. If everyone is extracting the same raw material from the village, so it will result in reducing or overexploiting the natural resources. And also opportunity to combine or link different livelihood activities. As an example, I hope you know about this batik, and the people who are doing the tailoring or sewing, they can combine their skills with batik people, and then they can link their products with the those people who are doing tourism. So we can link our different products, and there's a more chance. And also we can increase the survival chance of the industry. If one livelihood collapses, and still you can survive with another livelihood option. So that's why we have to diversify, and we should not depend on a single income source. And more access to market and partnership. And if you are producing only one product, and buyers are more happy to come and buy different items from one village, right? Because then they can sell them in different places for different prices. So diversity is something that the buyers always appreciate and demand. And also it creates an opportunity to develop infrastructure. And when you do tourism, when you do say farming and other stuff, you may need to develop your infrastructure facilities to support your business, to improve your business. And as the businesses improve, your village infrastructure facilities will be improved. So we need to improve our roads because the vehicles are coming and taking our products. And if we are doing tourism, we need to provide food and accommodation. So you will have more places to provide facilities, and some marketing and branding and packaging facilities. So all these things will be constructed and established in your village. And also it will reduce community dependency on natural resources in destructive manner. If people are depending on turtle egg harvesting, and it is not sustainable, right? So after overutilization of sea turtle eggs in a destructive manner, then they will run out their natural resource which they were dependent on. So then that's why you can replace that those practices by introducing alternative livelihood options. And also our alternative livelihood options will help us to achieve our conservation goals, because some people who are doing their livelihood options or jobs will start supporting us, will benefit us, and also they will change their attitudes. So they will consider us as a friend, not as an enemy. So that's why we want to support them, help them to develop different livelihoods within our communities. And so as a project manager, when I was implementing projects in Sri Lanka, I was thinking, what are the different types of options, we have as livelihoods, which we can introduce among our communities. So now I will explain you what are the things we do. Actually, we employed former poachers as nest protectors, right? So we provided them a green job. So they were exploiting the turtle species by harvesting all the eggs, by slaughtering or killing sea turtles for meat. But we employed those people, actually 25 people from the village. They were known as beach boys, and we employed them to patrol the beach 24/7, and they protected the turtle nests on the beach. So after 2 months of incubation, hatchlings emerge and they run down to the sea. So local people worked as turtle nest protectors. So it was their alternative livelihood. In addition, some of the locals were promoted and trained and employed as research assistants, because we recruited and employed university students as research officers to measure the turtles, to tag the turtles, and also we did satellite telemetry work. So to support them, we have recruited community members as research assistants. So it was another kind of livelihood option. And also we trained some local people as trainers. So training of trainers, TOT programs. So then later we can use these local people when we are conducting education and awareness programs in different locations. And when you do projects, it should be all inclusive. And although we wanted to protect sea turtles on the beach, and almost all the poachers, and later they became as turtle nest protectors, all of them were males, no women. But actually, when it comes to the community, it consists males, females, children, people with disabilities. So there are a wide range of people representing a community. So you have to include all these stakeholders in your project. That's why we introduce these batik making projects as a livelihood development. As you can see, we train them in various batik products, and also we use these livelihood options to create more awareness on sea turtle. So we use sea turtles as a charismatic species and as a symbol or as a flagship to attract or to give more value for these community products, because people, especially the tourists who are visiting Rakova, they are visiting to see the turtle nesting activity. So easily you can sell these products to tourists, and they will be very happy to buy a product with sea turtles embedded on them. So and in addition to batik, we provided sewing or tailoring training programs, and we gave them free training, and we distributed sewing machines. And also, again, you can see now they are producing a lot of different items. And also we exported our products to UK markets. And here you can see how our products from the Rakova village has been used in Marks and Spencer market chain in UK. And again, you can see when we produce different community products, we try to market them using the sea turtle symbol. So you don't have to restrict to sea turtles, maybe dugongs or whatever the charismatic species you have. And through these community products, actually you can increase the popularity of your taxa or species you are trying to protect, and it will be it will provide an opportunity to create more awareness using these community products. And in addition, we train local community members in cooking and making different sorts of foods and beverages. And especially during the pandemic crisis, tourism collapsed, so a lot of hotels and restaurants were closed. So we use this opportunity. So we consider it as an opportunity for us to prepare well. So what we did was that we trained those community members who were cooking for restaurants and hotels in Rakava, so they can prepare much attractive and delicious food for visiting tourists after the pandemic crisis. So you can use all these crisis situations as an opportunity, and think it as a positive thing. So here you can see we conducted training programs, and now they have graduated and they are producing delicious food for the tourists. And in addition, this is another livelihood option we introduced. Again, we have selected a group of women in the village, and we conducted a beauty culture training program. So, even for villagers, they have to go to the nearby town if they have a wedding to get dressed. And if they have their own wedding, they have to pay a lot of money for an outsider coming from the town to dress them as a bride. So actually we gave them a training. So this group of women can do the same job for rest of the community members during a party, wedding, or any function. So it will save their money rather than paying money for a outsider. So this is another kind of alternative livelihood we introduced for the community members. And also crab culture. So fishermen, and sometimes fishermen have a totally different way of life, and the farmers have a totally different way of life. So sometimes you can't ask a fisherman to farm, do agriculture, or you can't, or vice versa. You can't ask from a farmer to go and fish. So you have to respect their culture, their traditions, their professions. You have to work accordingly. And then we introduced crab culture within our beneficiaries or communities we are working with. And in addition, I hope the sea bass, a kind of fish. So we distributed these pans or cages to grow them, and then they make income by selling them for hotels and other outsiders as a source of protein. And then what you can see here is an illegal fishing type we call push net. And to replace the push nets, we gave them legal nets. So what is the benefit for local people? And if they were caught by the government officials for using illegal net, which is prohibited, and they will be heavily fined, and they will take away their illegal fishing nets. So by providing legal nets, actually you can take them away from the risk of being caught. And also it is less harmful for the environment compared to the illegal fishing nets or fishing gears. And this is another type of alternative livelihood we are doing. It's called ornamental fish breeding. So we introduce ornamental fish breeding in various locations in Sri Lanka within our project sites, and we train them in fish breeding and disease control or management, rearing, packaging, transporting, all these things. And here you can see we call these mud ponds, and also these are the aquariums we have supported, and we train them how to make glass tanks. And this program itself provides a variety of different livelihoods. You can see here, breeding fish is a livelihood, and so there are another different group, they raise fish, and another group of people in the village, they make tanks and sell. And some people make fish food and sell. And there are transporters, they pack the fish and transport, and they do the delivery jobs. And also we have aquariums, retailers and wholesalers, and suppliers of accessories, air pumps, filters, there are a lot of accessories needed for aquariums. So there are some people, they buy them and sell them by keeping a profit. And also you can use researchers to get involved. And also you can use tourism. As an example, I have fee-paying volunteers. They pay for me to come and work for my project. And they work with these communities, and they clean the fish tanks, they feed the fish tank, they catch and count the fish fingerlings. So you can earn more money by linking your livelihood projects with tourism and also with your volunteers. And as an example, this is a poor villager, and she was struggling to complete her house. And you can see, because she did not have enough money to complete her house, actually we supported her to have temporary tanks inside the house which is under construction. And here you can see she was catching fish. Actually now, as I speak, she has completed this house. So no longer she is raising fish inside the house, because now she was able to save money, and then she completed her own house. And this is what I said. I have volunteers coming from all over the world, and these volunteers are supporting different community livelihood projects. And again, when you do projects, you can use local skills and talents, and they will work for you, and you can pay them rather than giving orders, or rather than purchasing your needs from capital city or nearby town. And try to understand what are the various skills your beneficiaries or your stakeholders or your communities having. So then you can consult them, you can take their skills to match your requirements or your needs. And also this is salt packaging, and we have places where they sell salt in large quantities, wholesale marketing. And then these community members, they bring 100 kilos, 50 kilos of packs of salt, and then they measure them individually, like this packet is 1 kilogram per packet, and they make small packets with 1 kilo and they sell them. So this is done by a small fisheries cooperative society. So we supported them. And also beekeeping. So we supported community members to have these beekeeping boxes to make additional income. And especially those areas with mangroves, with Avicennia species, you can do this to protect the mangroves, to introduce alternative livelihoods. You can consider giving them and training them beekeeping training. And revolving funds. And there are a lot of community members, they want to do living or livelihood activity, but they don't have capital to invest. So we are doing revolving funding scheme is there for us. So we give money without any interest, so they have to start their livelihood activities with our instructions, with our guidance, and we will supervise those activities. We will monitor constantly, and we are happy if they can make profits out of our contributions. And also this is another part we are doing, agriculture. And you know that now there is a trend that you can sell organic fruits or vegetables with higher rate than normal or typical agricultural products which they used chemical fertilizers. So organic farming is becoming more popular and more demand is there, and also they are expensive. So this is something we introduce among the beneficiaries or among our villagers as an alternative livelihood. And also we do a lot of other environmental restoration projects like beach pines or pandanus, and also mangroves. So we ask people to have their own nurseries, and we will buy plants from them. So it's a additional income for them. So we have nurseries run by our community members. They are having mangrove plants, beach pines and beach vegetation, and also fruits and vegetables. So they sell, we buy, and again we distribute among the villages, maybe in 100 kilometers away from these nurseries in other villages. And also when we do different environmental restoration projects, you can pay people. Now we have well-trained people, they participate and they are paid for planting mangroves in lagoons. Right now, as we speak, we are undertaking a project to plant 4.5 million mangrove plants, 4.5 million mangrove plants, and it's a large-scale project. It's like $1.4 million US grant. So we can pay villagers for collecting seedlings, for having nurseries, for maintaining nurseries, for planting them in lagoons. We can pay for them. So it's a job for them, full-time job. And also, as I told you before, you can train trainers. In this scenario, what we did was that we trained some people in performing arts, and then later they trained the community members, the youth, to perform traditional performing arts. And we provided all these costumes, and in the village now we have instructors or trainers who can train the community in performing art. So it will preserve our culture, which is quite, vanishing fast. And also we link this performing arts group to our tourism activity, where we have a visitor center. So when tourists are waiting for a sea turtle, we can perform these traditional cultural practices to entertain the tourists who are waiting until a turtle comes to the beach. So this is how you can link your alternative income generation activities to tourism. And as I told you, you can use locals as educators. You can see here, all these are local people trained by my organization, and at a later stage they become trainers. So when we do a lot of exhibitions, educational programs, local people are hired and used. Actually, we pay them to do this job. And so also we have employed community librarians to manage our libraries. So this is another livelihood option. And also, as you can see here, these community members, they are working to make herbal drink for the kids, because under our project we provide herbal drink free of charge for our community members in primary schools and secondary schools. So we pay local people because they are preparing and distributing these herbal drink for the children. And also, all these people were used to kill turtles and collect turtle eggs and sell. That was their livelihood. And then we changed them. We changed egg poachers and we changed them into conservationists. So now they are working as turtle nest protectors. So we trained them as tourist guides, and before they were collecting eggs and killing turtles, but now here you can see they are showing turtle nesting activities to visiting tourists, and they make income. And again, you can see you can use the local people as tourist guides, and this is a guide, local guide, and they are showing snorkeling and showing the corals and other stuff. and also homestays. So this is a part of our tourism. So rather than having a 100-room hotel in an ecologically sensitive area, what we try to do is that we try to promote homestay units in protected areas. So foreigners will stay at local houses with getting more experience, first-hand experience in day-to-day life of community, and they can taste the local food and they enjoy with communities at grassroots level. So that is what we are promoting and we are doing. So these are some of the examples. And coir mats. You know, coir fibers are extracted from the plant Cocos nucifera or coconut plant. I hope you also have coconut plants in your countries, I hope. So this is what we do with the turtles. So actually, when you have this type of panda made out of coconut, actually you can sell these to WWF because this is their logo, right? And so we produce these turtles, you can see, with coconut fiber. So these are our groups who are producing coconut coir mats. And this is the coconut tree. And here you can see what we can do. There are, with this single tree, you can do a lot of variety of things. See, you can drink the water, you can drink the fruit, and then you can scrape the coconut, and then you can make milk, coconut powder, milk powder. All these things are available. And vinegar is there, toddy, this is jaggery. You can produce arak or alcohol, a drink. And coconut shell, you can produce so many. You can see the turtles here. So there are so many things you can do with a single plant, right? See, these are the coconut husks, and then you can remove the coconut fibers, and then you can make, by using this small machine, you can produce ropes with coconut coir fiber. And all these are coconut mats. And I told you that we are planting 4.5 million mangroves. So can you believe if I had to use polythene bags as pots? I'm very disappointed. I will be very disappointed. So that's why we want to use this type of degradable pots made out of coconut fiber. So now we are doing that. We are investing on that. And these are, you can see the eco broom and the little brooms where you can use, and you can make baskets out of this. And this roof is, they use the coconut leaves, and this is the main trunk of the coconut. So they use them for different purposes. Okay, so now I will brief you. If you are running an organization, so usually you apply for grants, right, from external donor agencies. So with their funding, you receive the funding, and what do? You do direct field conservation activities. You protect sea turtles, you plant trees, like that. But what I want to emphasize is that you have to work with the communities. So you should maintain two components: direct field conservation activities, which will result in direct species conservation, and work with the community. It will increase your chance to achieve your conservation goals effectively and timely. So when you implement your community-based alternative livelihood options, you can establish community-based organizations, CBOs, for different livelihood activities: community batik group, or community fish breeding group, community sowing group, community coir mat group, tourist guide group, farming group, like that. And then you can network them. You can create a consortium of all these people. So then you can meet with all these people who are doing different livelihoods, because you can teach them about some basics relevant to all these different sectors. As an example, you can conduct a marketing and branding training program for all these people, all these people at once. And also you can train them about accounting, how to do your accounts properly, and how to package and how to transport, all these things you can train them. And then here you can see as an institution, organization, what you should try to do is that identify and develop your community products and group them. You develop them as a CBO, and then you identify clear different community collectives or community products, right? And these are the community products, and then you can be the institution which will market community products. So you can in here I'm explaining you, so we can collect all community products and we can take all these community products into markets. It can be either local market or foreign market, and you will get the profit. And then what should you doing is that you have to use the fair trade concept. You have to buy your community product for a reasonable amount, by paying them a reasonable amount using the fair trade concept. And then out of your profit, you have to allocate some money to provide an income for your people, and also to income these community-based organizations. Otherwise, the organization will not sustain, right? And so when you have your profit after selling your community products, you have to divide your profit into two sectors. One is to continue your field conservation projects, and you can do turtle nest protection program. You can conduct research and surveys. You can do mangroves, coral reef, beach cleaning, all these things. And also you can invest some money on your community development activities, or we call rural development. So you can conduct education and awareness, community libraries, school programs, computer training, English training, all this vocational training, all these things you can do using part of your profit. And if you don't implement this kind of program or sustainability strategic plan, always you have to depend on external funding agencies, right? Unless you develop this kind of survival plan for your institution. That's what we did over a 30-year period. Actually, this is our 29th year in operation. So this cannot be, you won't be able to achieve your final target within 1 year or 2 years. But, we call think globally, act locally. So you should have you should have a vision and mission. You should know where you are going and what is your dream, and then act accordingly. And so we did that, and then we received a lot of global awards, as you can see here. And so even from our government, we received Green Employment Award. Especially, it's called Green Employment Award because we employed 108 people. And those people were killing turtles, selling turtle eggs, cutting mangroves, mining coral reefs, like that. And then we changed them. We converted them as conservations, right? And Green Job Awards, and even the International Sea Turtle Society gave us Champions Award in 2010. So we do tourism, and so TripAdvisor also, certified us, and top 10 of Asia. Actually, this magazine is published in Malaysia. So they selected my project and myself, a person who gave the leadership for these 10 outstanding projects in Asia. So this is our 29th year in operation between 1993 and 2022. And the change over the period of time, this was the picture when we went to Rakau in 1993. This is called Sumati Pala. He was collecting eggs, and they were running and hiding when they saw a policeman or a Navy officer, because they were doing illegal activities. and then we develop their capacity, and you can see now they are having a smile because they are holding turtle hatchlings and they are releasing. And so this is my office, head office, and I thank all my staff members, and also especially Amami. She's just sitting right next to me. She's supporting me with these technical issues, and my site manager here, Mr. Kumar, is here. So I'm thanking all of my staff members. So don't wait until your government do the job for you to develop your village and to change your village and your lifestyle and your economy. You can be the change. So that is the message I wanted to give today during my presentation. So I hope that you got some valuable points, and you are very welcome to visit my project here in Sri Lanka to learn more about our activities. And also, usually we are attending International Sea Turtle Conference. Unfortunately, because of the pandemic crisis, we couldn't attend during the past year, and also this year it will be held online. So, but we are very happy, and also we can start a dialogue. Maybe I can visit your country, and we can, personally visit your sites and give you more instructions and share our knowledge. And you are very welcome to visit my country and my project as well. So, and the thing is that you can showcase everything you are doing. So as I just did now, actually, right now, we are a turtle conservation project, but we are doing a mangrove restoration project, and the grant is $1.4 million US. So it's a grant to plant 4.5 million mangroves. You can link all your activities, not only the conservation activities, but also your community livelihood projects, and that will boost, that will promote your organization, your organization's profile, and your performance levels. So it will give a more recognition to the work you are doing or you have been doing. So just try to learn how to market, how to showcase whatever you are doing. So that is another skill you have to develop as the project manager or project leader of your own institution. So thank you very much for listening and giving me this opportunity. So now I will open this platform for any questions if you have, and I'm very happy to answer them. So thank you.